pregame show.
Early season's greetings, NBA fans. I'm Ernie Johnson. Thanks for joining us. Got Shaquille O'Neal here. Got Kenny the Jet Smith here for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Our featured matchup tonight out in New York, where the Knicks will be going up against the Atlanta Hawks. Checking out Atlanta, coming off a loss in the first game of the season, they'll no doubt be anxious to put tonight's contest in the win column and avoid an 0-2 start. For the Hawks over the last few years, they've brought in some faces and tactics from San Antonio. Shaq, are they really the San Antonio Spurs East, as we've heard in recent years?
Well, Coach Budenholzer was a former San Antonio Spurs assistant. They run a similar motion offense with spacing in the ball movement. They're not the Spurs yet because they don't have any players that can create ISO plays and get players other shots.
What I like about that team, Ernie, is every player on that team, just put their ego aside. They're not worried about the numbers, and winning is all cost, and winning is first. And when you see that in a team, then that is the hallmark of the San Antonio Spurs organization. Egos aside, winning first.
Atlanta, 4 All-Stars, and a trip to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2015. Let us get down to Kevin Harlan as we get ready for the opening tip.
Welcome, folks. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for the latest presentation of our NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg with Doris Burke reporting from the sideline. We've got an Eastern Conference battle ready to get rolling, and this New York crowd wants some love from their Knicks. And this matchup with the Hawks, it's their first meeting of the season. Last season, they couldn't get the edge in the matchup as they went 1-2 in the season series.
Yeah, and this game kicks off a 4-game season series between the two teams.
Two conference foes, guys, looking to take game 1 tonight. It's very interesting to see who can land the first blow.
And it's the Hawks to start out. All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the court for Atlanta, Millsap at power forward with Horford at the center. Teague and Korver are the guards. And it's Cephalosha in at the 3 slot.
Boy, for the Knicks last season, saying it was rough is an understatement. There was a lot of turbulence, and some of it was due to their defense. They just had a difficult time stringing together stops and cutting down opponents' scoring chances.
And so it's the Hawks getting on the board first. 6 on the shot clock. Anthony drives in. Shot is off. New York on D. They put up a nice win against the Bucks the last time out.
And guys, they could have won that game on the strength of their offense alone. It was that good.
And most impressive when you do it on the road like that. They just kept coming at them wave after wave, and they really kept the crowd on mute in that one.
Well, for the Knicks last season, Greg, the defensive problem for them, specifically how they defended against perimeter shots, and in particular the 3.
38%, Kevin, of the threes against them went in. That was by far the worst in the league, and it's a big reason why they would end the year with the worst margin of victory in the NBA. How about minus 9.3?
Teague kicks to Millsap. Pass to Teague. "13 feet away, and it comes off the front of the rim."
And the D does just enough to throw off his rhythm on that shot.
They set the pick. Now the feed to Calderon. Back to Aflalo. Pass to Carmelo. Here's Porzingis. The shot no good. Good work defensively by Horford. The Hawks have gone 1 of 3 for the field to start this one so far. Millsap misses.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Aflalo outside. He dishes it to Calderon. Anthony, the pass to Calderon. Back to Anthony. And that comes off the assist by Calderon. Anthony's got his second bucket of the night.
I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense if he's got the A game rolling tonight.
One thing about Jose Calderon, you could see the frustration in him last season, playing a career-low 42 games, and his averages were down pretty much, Greg, across the board.
Yeah, and Kevin, he was brought in to kind of invigorate the Knicks' point guard position, but following a preseason calf injury, you know, he missed the team's first 13 games and never was able to really get going. Remember, coming into a new system where he had to learn how to play differently, and then after all that, you know, you have to shut him down because of that left Achilles.
Now, here's Teague.
And he just hasn't been able to make anything this quarter.
That doesn't go in either for Teague.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Here's Lopez, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot two. That one on Horford.
And getting back to Jose Calderon, he's been an extremely efficient shooter for a point guard, 48% from the field throughout his career. But last season, he couldn't hit it at all. I mean, he dropped down to 41%.
And, you know, on the topic of Jose Calderon, his game is predicated on getting others involved. Last season, he had Carmelo Anthony to throw it to, and really pretty much no one else. So defenders could key on him a little more, causing him, I thought, to become just a little less efficient.
Now here's Korver. Millsap kicks to Cephalosha. Millsap a screen. Passes it to Teague. Shot to stop the drought. Good. Teague's got his first 3 points of the game.
And after missing 4 straight, he finally gets one to go.
Calderon kicks to Aflalo. Some nice passing by New York here. Calderon, a screen on Millsap. Anthony down low. After by Cephalosha. Anthony can't hit. Hawks have gone just 2 of 7 so far. A little bit of a slow start for them. Teague dishes to Cephalosha. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket.
You can't get into much better position for the three than that. Everything was right on target. It just didn't fall.
And it's Lopez. That time on the assist by Aflalo.
Well, I tell you, last season was a big one for the Hawks and Coach Budenholzer. Their dominant season won him multiple Coach of the Month titles, and eventually he won the Coach of the Year award.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks. It's pretty obvious, I thought, Greg, that Budenholzer was the deserved Coach of the Year. I mean, Steve Kerr, there are a lot of good names you could put in there. But what he's done taking the Hawks to the top of the East, a few saw that coming.
I agree with you. I mean, he has transformed this Hawks team over the past couple years, has a wonderful team game. And, you know, obviously a lot of influence coming from Pop when he was with San Antonio, but he is really, I think, redefining how the game of basketball is being played at the pro level. Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket?
Grant the pass to Thomas. Kicks it to Seraphin. The 11-footer. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Seraphin's got his first basket.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
Here's Bazemore. Schroeder kicks to Splitter. The dish to Schroeder. They set the pick. Bazemore passes to Splitter. Buries it from about 10 feet away. Splitter's got his first 2 points of the night.
Outstanding entry pass there. He knew exactly where to go with the ball.
To the paint, Amundsen dishes to Grant. Thomas kicks to Amundsen. He feeds it to Seraphin. Here's Grant. From outside, off the mark. The Hawks have gone 4 of 10 shooting the ball here in the first quarter. Now here's Schroeder, guarded closely. That's good.
What do you do with that guy? With his handles, he abuses defenders.
really good rebound and traffic. That's what the big fella's there for.
So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Hawks lead by 1. We'll take a quick break, then get you back to the action. Before the game, Carmelo Anthony talked about how he prepares himself mentally to carry this team.
It's easy. It's basketball. It's out there having fun. It's out there working together. You know, the biggest thing is the defensive end. As long as we keep that up, we're going to score enough points to, you know, possibly win basketball games. So I'm definitely not concerned from that aspect of it.
You don't hear too many players, Greg, saying it's easy and they're not too concerned.
Yeah, or talking about possibly winning basketball games. But I have a feeling he's more concerned than he talks about and when he says it's easy. It may be for him, but it sure didn't look easy for the Knicks last season.
And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And when you consider how Atlanta is doing, your thoughts?
Really, it's always a positive when you can get some impact off your bench.
Always nice to have firepower coming from the reserves. And they've had firepower and then some so far.
This is how the floor looks for the Hawks starting the second quarter. Paul Millsap out there with Splitter. Then there's Kyle Korver. Then there's Kent Bazemore.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that, that's your only option.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, free throws are always better than a layup, so I'd agree with you there, Greg.
And the one thing Thiago Splitter gives you every year, Clark, is consistency. The numbers, the effort, the results, all very familiar every year.
Yeah, his game is really built on the intangibles. He hustles, he knows where he's supposed to be, he gets to the right spot at the right time, crashes the boards, takes charges. He does all the little stuff.
There's Galloway. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Korver against Anthony. Here's Galloway. 5 to shoot. Puts it up from 17. Anthony's shot is off.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Splitter sets a screen. Schroeder passes to Splitter, and he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run, don't you think? Clark to the hoop for him there.
Momentum can swing on plays like that, Kevin, especially when the finish has that much thunder on it.
The Hawks leading to the paint. Here's Teague. Rebounded by Anthony. And a fast break now for New York. Here's Afflalo. Can't get it to go. Good work defensively by Millsap. Now the Hawks moving it the other way. Finished off the break. Schroeder's got 6.
Nice pass that time. What excellent vision by Jeff Teague out there.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones. A long time without a basket.
They got to find something. You're right. Anthony kicks to Afflalo. Feeds to Seraphin. Ball's knocked loose. Now here's Schroeder. 6 points for him. Dishes it to Splitter. The Hawks working the ball around from deep. It's rebounded by New York. They've got the Wizards ahead of them for the next game. It's in Washington. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip. Afflalo outside. Here's Galloway. He's guarded by Schroeder. Galloway to pass to Seraphin. He got right to the cup using that screen. Seraphin's got his second basket of the night.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
Atlanta calls timeout. This game coming after a loss against the Pistons.
The inability to make threes in that game because they took a lot of them. I think is why they ended up on the short end of the stick.
Yeah, they did take a bunch of them. Sometimes you can make up for poor three-point shooting with a strong inside game, but their inside game just wasn't strong enough.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. Lopez, he's checked in for Kevin Serafin. Williams comes in for Porzingis. Sasha Vujacic is checked in for Aaron Aflalo. And it's Calderon in for Langston Galloway. Oh, and the jam by Anthony.
That almost feels like 2 buckets coming off the steal like it did.
And especially the fact that it now ties the game. The lead was about to be stretched out, and instead, it's back even.
Now here is Cephalosha. The pass to T. Outside Korver. At the elbow, Horford. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Just a major size difference between the defender and shooter on that possession.
And Greg, without a hand in his face, he's simply going to spray whoever's there.
Here's Anthony. He picked up 12 points in their last win against the Bucks in Milwaukee. Here's Lopez. That's in there. Anthony with the assist. Lopez has got the game tied up here for the Knicks.
And Robin Lopez, a guy never shy about doing the grunt work. But his offense, I believe, really underrated. Just a solid finisher at the rim. Also a great offensive rebounder.
Now here's T, and that one's good. Horford's got 4 points now in the quarter.
The number of points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening.
It really is, Clark. The defenders need to do a better job of closing those lanes to the hoop.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. And speaking of Lopez's offensive games, Clark, he's got some skill.
Yeah, a little push hook shot in the low post, and if you leave him open 15 to 16 feet, he can knock that down too.
And let's quickly take a look at some stats for Teague. He had a strong showing last season. 8th in assists, 14th in steals, and he'd make you pay every time he went to the line. Top 20 in free throw percentage.
And last season, his floor awareness was impeccable. As you mentioned, top 10 in assists. Just does a great job of getting everybody involved.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. Thomas checked in for Anthony. And it's Grant in for Sasha Vujacic. Calderon kicks to Thomas. Williams a screen. Pass to Grant. Calderon has the open look. And again, it's the Knicks missing. The Hawks have gone 4 of 6 from the field here in the second. Teague against Williams. Teague drives in. Shot is no good. Excellent D there from Williams.
Well, it's just been one of those kind of games for him.
Grant dishes to Calderon. Grant kicks to Williams. Now Grant. Back to Williams. Grant outside. Beyond the arc. The basket is good off the assist from Williams. Grant's got his first 3 points of the game. Guys back and forth this first half.
Well, 5 lead changes early on, guys, as we grapple back and forth.
And this could continue to go back and forth the entire way.
What a season for Al Horford last year. Such a great display from him and his team as he led the Hawks to the #1 seed in the Eastern Conference.
And for all the team accomplishments the Hawks had, Horford was able to hit some of his own milestones as well. Had his first career triple-double last season.
Horford was really a cog in all aspects of the Hawks last season. I mean, a major cog. Just a consistent presence inside with his 15 points and 7 boards a game.
It was Amundsen. He's checked in for Derek Williams. Tim Hardaway Jr. is checked in for the Hawks. He hits one and misses one, each at the line.
And for Horford last year, the numbers were down a bit, but that wasn't due to his play. I think the Hawks were just a more balanced team, and he could obviously put up bigger numbers if he wanted to, but by playing within the system, I think it allowed Atlanta to reach his true potential over the course of the regular season.
Now here's Calderon. That's a no-go, and he's still looking for his first bucket after 2 shots. And here is Hardaway. He kicks it to Horford. Nifty move. And that'll do it for the first half. Game time. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
No, Carmelo, after this first half of play, what do you believe the team needs to focus on from here on out? Well, just communication and trusting one another. When somebody get beat, the next guy got his back, and we're just trying to get up and down, get going somewhere, somehow. For the most part, we did pretty good. A couple of adjustments on the defensive end. Make some shots, and we'll be fine.
Melo, thanks for the time. Guys, over to you.
Thanks so much, Doris, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back in there for the start of the third quarter after this break.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you to the halftime show on 2K Sports. For the Knicks, the first quarter was pretty even. The largest lead for them during the period was 4. The second quarter was a strong effort for them as they continued to battle, and they were able to close out the half in a good position. Hey, big fella, what's your take on New York so far?
You know, they didn't play it too safe. They made some really nice shots. Those are some much-needed points, and it keeps them right in the game. As long as they stay on the same page and keep working together, they got a great chance to take control of this game.
And now, Kenny, let's get your opinion on Atlanta.
Well, the reserves really came through when they needed a spark. This is a close game. Any points you can get from your bench are huge. I thought the bench guys came in and inserted themselves like they wanted a starting spot. And that's what you want. Subs who are ready to produce the moment they step on the floor.
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's just about time for the start of the third quarter.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. You have to like what we're seeing from Carmelo Anthony.
The way he was able to attack the rim in that first half. Defenders are going to need to start building walls and being connected defensively if they want to have any chance to stop him.
Now, come on, Greg. That's much easier said than done when he's the penetrator. I mean, his speed and agility make him extremely tough to cover.
Anthony out there with Porzingis. Then there's Calderon. Then there's Robin Lopez. And it's a Flello in a shooting guard. That's Derek Fisher's 5 as we get going into the second half.
You know, there was plenty to be happy about last year in Atlanta with the way the Hawks played. One sour note, though, was that the team was viewed as a potential buy for Seattle groups.
Now here is Cephalosha. Drills the three-pointer. Cephalosha's got 5 points so far. Guys, we're not through 3 quarters of play, but 6 lead changes already in this one.
Yeah, it's been a really good game for sure. I mean, it looks like it's going to stay tight throughout.
Yeah, competitive, and I think we all can agree that we thought this would be the type of game that would come down to the end.
Here's Anthony following the 3 by Atlanta. Calderon with it. No good. Great D that time from T. Well, last season, the Hawks not only had a great year on the floor as they were the top seed in the Eastern Conference, but they had a pretty good day at the bank, too. They sold for a nice price. Looks like the team is going to stay in Atlanta where it belongs.
Yeah, and that's great news for Atlanta, and they were rewarded with a terrific season. The group, including Grant Hill, purchased the Hawks, and obviously will keep that group in Atlanta for many years to come.
Here's Calderon following the basket by Paul Millsap. Calderon passes to Carmelo. To the inside, Lopez uses the glass to finish the layup. Lopez has got 8.
Some big points there. I mean, they got him on a nice play to get the ball right to the bucket.
And exactly what they're looking for down the stretch, Clark. Just more of the same.
Atlanta calls timeout. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game, and that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
Time now to look at the NBA's top shooting teams from a season ago. The 4th spot held by the Hawks.
Boy, I thought, Kevin, they had great productivity from their shooters last year. The guys they were counting on to knock down a high percentage of their shots, they did that. And they hope to see those same kinds of numbers this year.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. Serafin comes in for Robin Lopez. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Jose Calderon. Splitters checked in for Atlanta. Dennis Schroeder comes in for Cephalosha. And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. Here's Splitter and a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
All right, a chance here to check out some stats for Korver. Some last season stats for him. He was around 12 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. And, guys, he's making winning plays. It's as simple as that. Not a star player per se, but he makes his presence felt.
And, fellas, I would say he's been overachieving a little bit lately. Hopefully, this is a sign of greater things for the future.
Shooting 2.
And that one falls for Splitter. Certainly the biggest surprise last year, Clark, was the play of the Atlanta Hawks. You would have picked them to win the East at the start of the season.
Well, they did it, and they earned it. The Hawks didn't have any superstars on their roster, but they won with solid team play.
And for the Hawks, they did end up with 4 All-Stars last season. And as you said, it was all about how they...
Second half has started quite well. They've been good on 3 of their first 4 attempts.
There's the feed to Schroeder. Pass to Korver. Puts up a 3. The Hawks again can't hit.
And, you know, around the NBA, the league recognized the Hawks were a complete team. Everybody played their roles superbly. The NBA named all 5 of their starters the player of the week last year in an unprecedented move.
Now T, after Kyle Korver missing on that last 3-pointer.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over it.
There's Galloway. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Here's the teardrop. He takes it up and plays it in. And the Knicks lead by 1.
That's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effectively.
You just cannot allow the offense to have that quality of a look each and every possession. Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. 6 to shoot. Here's Serafin. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. Paul Millsap picks one up.
Well, I know last year the Knicks seemed to me to be very passive offensively. And that can sometimes be the case when you're trying to learn the triangle offense. But they never seem to attack the rim at all.
That free throw good from Serafin. As you mentioned, the Knicks very shy at going to the rim last year. Really could have used that dynamic among a lot of things to their game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, you think about this. The Knicks were last in the league in drives per game as a team. So they struggled shooting when they did attack the rim, only 42%. So those areas have to improve if this team wants to become competitive.
And finished off by Scott.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why, I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that.
Now here's a Flalo. He dishes it to Serafin. No luck. And Atlanta will go the other way with it. Following this one, they get to host the Hornets. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. Works it to Bazemore. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Hardaway, that's a 2-pointer. It's rebounded by New York.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Now here's Seraphin. Oh, trying for it. Off on the layup. Fast break, the Hawks. And here they go. That's tipped. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there. Third quarter, guys, and this has been a neck-and-neck game.
Sure has been. I mean, guys, momentum is hard to come by in this one. I mean, it seems like one team gets the lead and then the other one storms right back.
Both teams getting it done defensively, as evidenced by the 8 lead changes thus far.
Galloway, no good.
Boy, even though he missed, you can't give up that kind of a look very often.
But better to be lucky than good sometimes. Fortunately, they didn't get burned on that one.
Here's Galloway. Passes to Thomas. There's 25 seconds left to play here in the third. To the middle. Here's a Flalo. It's tipped. Hawks have gone a somewhat subpar 4 of 10 on their shots in the second half so far. Schroeder with the ball. Thomas is there, and the shot is good. Schroeder's got.
You know, obviously, he knows how to finish with some flair.
Here's Galloway. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. 3 quarters of play and a Hawks on up by 3. We're going to step aside for just a second, but join us right back here to the. Thanks for joining us again as we get set for the fourth quarter. A terrific game so far. Atlanta leading by 3. Fourth quarter on the court for the Hawks. Teague and Korver are the guards. Millsap at power forward to the center. Osha in at the 3 spot. Now here's Korver. And it's Anthony at the elbow. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
And right before Carmelo went down with the injury last season, it seemed like he had added the fadeaway to his game, molded a little bit after Dirk Nowitzki.
Carmelo's reasoning was that he had been burned enough by Dirk's fadeaway, he had to adapt.
That's a great fadeaway to borrow from, for sure. I mean, Melo already has a mid-range game, terrific mid-range game, and this shot makes that even deadlier.
That one misses. Carmelo Anthony, the 3rd pick overall in the 2003 NBA draft, was in some pretty good company at the top of that one, as I recall.
I mean, you had LeBron going 1, and of course, Darko Milicic was number 2 on that list. But how about D-Wade at 4? A little bit of a surprise, Chris Bosh. You know, all those guys, with the exception of Melo, have rings.
Here's Teague. Jose Calderon making his last shot. Picked by Horford. Teague against Grant. Shot clock at 6. Here's Millsap. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got 5 assists tonight.
And back to Melo's top 5 draft mates in 2003 all having rings. You can't choose the team you play for as a rookie. Melo simply hasn't been surrounded by that much talent. That's why it was somewhat surprising that he re-signed with the rebuilding Knicks team last season.
Grant, no luck. The Hawks have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Korver dishes to Teague. Horford kicks to Korver. Taken away by Anthony. He feeds it to Calderon. Now the pass to Porzingis. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead.
And guys, talking about Melo, I mean, he's faced some difficult injuries here of late. That puts all the more pressure on him to win a ring as soon as possible. No way does he want to retire without that chance.
Now here's Anthony. Kicks it to Calderon. Anthony right side. And it's Lopez. That time on the assist by Anthony. Anthony's got his third assist on the night. And for the Hawks, they're shooting at a decent 44% clip here. Atlanta calls timeout. Hawks were so dominant last year and were the first team to clinch their spot in the postseason.
Hawks also would wrap up the top seed in the East and were able to advance against the Nets in 6 games.
Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. And Teague, here we go. Millsap kicks to Horford. Last season we saw Horford rounding back into form. Good to see that after what had been his second season-ending pectoral muscle tear back in late 2013.
Exactly. I mean, the Hawks just had to bide their time while their best player was out. You saw once he returned, though, he makes a big difference for him.
And he knocks down the first one. So Horford gets 2.
Can you believe the job they're doing at the foul line since halftime? I mean, they've been perfect so far.
Yeah, as cool as can be, Clark. Great focus and efficiency. That's how they built this lead.
Anthony, the pass to Calderon. And the layup's good off the glass. Calderon's got 4 points in the quarter.
And for me, Horford, one of the most unappreciated stars in the league. When he's healthy, he's every bit the franchise player because he really has no weakness. He does pretty much everything well on the floor.
Now here's Teague. Now the dish to Horford. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Teague's got 6 assists now in the game.
I love that plan. Set up the opportunity for the mismatch.
Yeah, knowing they have to get a bucket here and exploiting the height advantage where they can find it, and that's a no-brainer to me.
And Horford, I mean, this guy does it all on the floor. But for me, his leadership, that's one of those real intangibles. And he's unselfish, all about his teammates and completely focused on winning. So when your best player has that commitment, it has to rub off on the other players.
Now here's Anthony. Following the miss by Paul Millsap. That's good. And that's 13 points for Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, that's careless defense, though. I mean, he's one player you could ill afford to let run free. He just loves to be a money player in the fourth quarter.
Atlanta calls timeout. You have to like what we're seeing from Carmelo Anthony.
He's getting to the rack all game, and if they can't do a better job of keeping him out of the paint, they're in for a long night.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Yes, guys, Mike Budenholzer had some words for his team. He told them, the game is right there for the taking, fellas, but we've got to be first. First to loose balls, first to the rim. We have to give our all right here. Kevin, now's the time.
Always great to hear from you, Doris.
This guy is a high flyer. I mean, especially for a power forward, and he needs to be as an undersized player.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. They're down by 2. 1:57 left to play here in the fourth. .57 left in the fourth quarter. Got it. Number 7 on the night. 7 for 11 from the floor.
The defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Yeah, high percentage shots are what they are getting in terms of the attempts, and that's just not going to get it done. They've got to figure it out.
Atlanta calls timeout. The score is tied at 42. 1:53 left in the fourth quarter. Left in the fourth quarter.
Look at what Schroeder has done so far. He has 8 points. He was able to come up with 1 steal, too.
You know what? He's been a difference maker defensively today, Clark. He's disrupted more plays than the stat sheet will show.
So the first one drops, and that gives them the lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 2-point ball game.
Extreme confidence at the line. That's how you win close ones.
New York calls timeout. They're down by 2. 1:52 left to play in the final quarter. Down low. It's stolen by Korver. Here's Schroeder. Can't get it to go. Anthony with the defensive effort. For New York, they've gone 5 of 8 shooting as we've come down the home stretch in this final quarter. Calderon dishes to Anthony. Back to Calderon. Feeds to Aflalo. Yes! And the foul. It's going to be on Kyle Korver.
Yeah, beautiful play on the interior. They're just using the height advantage to lay the ball up and in when they really needed that basket.
Lopez, no good on the free throw. The Hawks have gone 3 of 8 here in the fourth quarter. Outside Millsap. Excellent D there from Aflalo. The Knicks have gone 6 of 9 on their field goal attempts since the start of the fourth quarter. Outside Anthony. Lopez a screen. Anthony kicks to Calderon. 5 on the clock. Lopez sets a screen for Anthony to take the lead. The shot will not go. And it's the Hawks taking it the other way. 43 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Millsap. Got it!
That was massive.
You know it. He's stepping right into the spotlight there.
Dishes to Aflalo. And again, it's the Knicks missing. Guys, they're not going to be in any rush on this possession.
Not with the lead. I mean, now's the time to use the clock to your advantage. Take your time. Milk the clock a little bit.
Millsap a screen. Here's Schroeder. Got a hand on it, but he gets it back. Korver gets a wide open look. And the rebound goes to the Knicks. New York calls timeout. They trail by 2. 7 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. What's your take, guys?
And it all comes down to this. Still enough time on the clock that they should be able to get a real good look.
Yeah, and in this case, debate often. You hear guys debate whether to take a 2 for the tie or a 3 to win. In my case, with this situation, I think you go hard inside and see if you can get a good shot in close.
Here's Lopez. Good! And tie game. That is a huge basket right there. Time call here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. Here's Horford. Oh, and a chance to win the game, but the last second shot is offline. Regulation is ended, and we're heading to overtime. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. And what great competition we're seeing so far. After regulation, the stalemate. And we'll see now how these two teams and these few minutes of basketball pan out. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineup for us now in overtime. On the court for the Knicks, we've got Robin Lopez. Porzingis is out there with Anthony. Then there's a follow, and it's Galloway in at the point guard position.
Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there, earned those free throws.
No good on that one. And he's good on the second.
They're ahead, but if they don't get a stop here, that free throw could prove critical.
Pass to Porzingis. Some nice passing by New York here. And a follow kicks to Galloway. Anthony left side. The fader. Rebound Atlanta. Millsap's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Now here's Schroeder. From deep. Kept alive by Atlanta. Korver passes to Horford. Bounces high off the rim and drops. And the Hawks lead by 3.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
Pass to Porzingis. Lopez, a screen on Millsap. Here's Porzingis. Rebounded by the Hawks. Horford's got 4 rebounds in this game. The Hawks leading by 3. Schroeder kicks to Millsap. That's good. He's 5 for 9.
Just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
New York calls timeout. They're losing by 5. 1:37 left to play in OT, and this battle continuing. Jeff Teague, who's checked in for Atlanta. We're in overtime and 90 seconds gone here in what has been a great one so far. Galloway kicks to Anthony. Here's Galloway. Anthony, the pass to Porzingis. Count the bucket.
Really good work on the interior. That is a critical 2 points there. That was an ideal scenario really for him. Point-blank range and also a size advantage.
Time call here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. They're in front by 3. 1:22 left in the first overtime. Action has been terrific. Outside Teague. He kicks to Korver. There's the feed to Cephalosha. Second chance shot, and it's sent back by Lopez. Passes it to Porzingis. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
That free throw good from Porzingis.
Those and ones can be really critical moments in a tight game like this one.
The Hawks have gone 2 of 5 on shot attempts since the end of regulation. Teague drives in. Outside for Korver. Here's Horford. Count it!
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of them.
Outside Anthony. Here's Lopez. Money! And tie game. That is a huge basket right there.
And how about the execution, really when it matters most? He knew he had the height advantage and just got the job done. No need to pass in that situation.
Galloway kicks to Anthony. To shoot. To take the lead. Oh, no good. Another tie, and we're going to have a